Okay, today we are going to be looking at searching for journal articles. And this is something you're going to have to do when you set out to write the introduction to your final paper because when we're writing papers and we're showcasing our research, we not only show our results and how we did our study, but we need to do a literature review and show the foundations of what we're looking into. So, the first thing that you're gonna need to have had done, and you should, is have your constructs developed. So, you should have two constructs, say, and for the purposes of this video, we're gonna look at the constructs of religiosity and life satisfaction. For my hypothetical research study and project, I am interested in what the relationship is between how religious a person is and how satisfied with their life that they are. And another thing that would be good practice before we even begin searching on the internet is maybe thinking of different words that also capture our constructs or are even related to our constructs. So for religion, I might broaden my scope when I'm doing my initial journal article search to spirituality or faith. For life satisfaction, maybe well-being, happiness. Okay, so log into D2L. I think you can. We're gonna go to the Metropolitan State Library website. You can also access this through the main Metro State website. I'm just doing it through D2L. So log in to D2L and scroll all the way to the bottom, and we have the Metro State Library link here. And we are going to click Databases A to Z, and you'll see here that we have a whole ton of databases that all have their own purpose. If we're looking for literature related to math, there's one for that. If we're, I don't know, is there legal stuff here? Anyway, what we're interested in is psychological literature, and so we're going to head down to PsycInfo 1887 to current, and we're going to click that. And we're now going to search PsycInfo, and I just want to give you guys a tip here. All right, so if we go into here, we'll have options to look at more than one database at a time. So this is helpful, for example, when I was in abnormal psych or clinical psych, and I needed to look at the clinical literature as well. I use this Medline resource. If you want to look at already, and this is really helpful, if you want to search for already established constructs or measures, you can check this APA psych test, and that's really helpful too. For today, we're just going to stick with PsycInfo. We'll click OK. And we're going to go to this advanced search option down here. And you can see that we have 3 dialog boxes, and we'll just go through these real quick here. I actually don't know what this is here. I don't ever use that. I'm sure it'd be helpful. Maybe if you are searching just for the subject or an author or a year of publication. I don't know. That's not something I use. But what is really helpful is having these separate dialog boxes and these and or not options for each one of those. So for example, I'm interested in looking at religiosity and life satisfaction. And by the way, these operators here anything that's used in these separate boxes can also be embedded within the same box. So I can do and life satisfaction up here, and that's going to give me the same results. But it's helpful to have these separate ones to organize, and I'll show you exactly what I do. So first we're just going to do it plain old vanilla way and see what we get. So life satisfaction. And we're going to click search. And yeah, we get, some straight out the gate, we get some stuff that looks promising. However, you might not be so lucky. In fact, you probably won't be. And so you might have to expand what you're looking for, and there's a couple tips and tricks to do that. First of all, I want to look at this little checkbox up here. I actually didn't know about this, or I'd never used it before, but it's something that might be handy for you. So if I just search religion and I check this box up here and I click search, it's going to give me a whole bunch of related terms. Obviously, as we go down the list, the less it's related to religion, but religion, religious practices, religious beliefs, and that might just give some ideas of what else to put in that search box if you're not getting or you're not having any luck with what you originally put in there. So here's some other tips and tricks. So you might have seen some suggestions when I started typing, and I'm actually going to click one of those. And that says and, but I'm actually going to say or spirituality, and we're even going to throw in faith in there. So we're also going to use the asterisk function, and this is something that's really helpful because you might want to search not just for religion, but religiosity or religiousness. I don't know if that's a word, but you get the point. There's you want the same root, but that word could be said in a number of different ways. And instead of typing all of those out individually, we can put an asterisk, right here at the end of that phrase. And now it's going to search for all of those things I just mentioned: religion, religious, religiosity. Those will all be included. We can do the same thing with spiritual. So that's going to include spiritual. It's also going to include spirituality, so on and so forth. And now we're ready to put our second construct into the search field. So I'm going to do life satisfaction. And here I'm going to utilize the quotation marks. And what these quotation marks do is make sure that we're not just searching life and we're not just searching satisfaction, but we need these two words together because we're not interested in all types of satisfaction. We're interested in life satisfaction. And I'm actually going to click this here because I think those are some good suggestions. I'm going to put these quotes back in. These are some related terms to life satisfaction, not identical, but it might be helpful in the case that we can't find exactly life satisfaction. And we're also going to employ our asterisk technique here and our quotation technique again. And now we are off to the races. We are going to click search. And the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to go down to this left-hand side and click academic journals. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm not interested in stuff that's not peer-reviewed. I need journal articles that have been looked over by other professionals and make sure that the findings are valid. And the best or the most ideal way to do that is to make sure we're looking at only academic journals. And now we have a list, and what I'm seeing right out of the gate here is that a lot of these don't have PDF files. So if you want to, and this is something that you're going to want to have because you're going to want to look at the actual study, is have the full text available to you. So an option you can also do is limit it to link full text. And it's only going to show you articles for which the full text is provided. You do have another option, so I'm going to uncheck that. If we click into this, for example, now this is where I'm going to be a little bit limited because I'm not a current student. I've noticed that I don't have the ability to actually go through this entire process, but for all of you who are students, you should be able to. Even if they don't link the full text, you can get it loaned from other libraries. And the way that you would do that is click this check for full text in the left hand column there, and it's going to tell me, well, it's going to tell me to sign in, but even if I sign in, it's going to tell me that it's not available to me. But for all of you, you're going to have options. I don't know what information you put in, but what happens is you put in the information, and then you'll get an email a day or two later, maybe 3 days later, with a link to the full text, and that works out great. All right, so back to our search here. So for today, we're going to look at things where we already have the full text available to us. And this top one here, we're just going to go with this top one here for now, with data mining and data visualization approach to examine the interrelationships between life satisfaction, secularization, and religiosity. So I look at that title, so I'm doing a quick analysis. Is that related to what I'm studying? And we got life satisfaction, religiosity. Yeah, that seems like it could work. So we're going to click into it. And then we want to read the abstract, and that's going to give us a little more information. Is this related? And it doesn't have to be fully related to what I'm doing, but Carrie is going to have you do 2 sections, one for each of your constructs. At least that's the easiest way to do it. So you're going to have a section for religion and a section for life satisfaction. And if it's looking at one of those, let's say it's looking at religiosity and well-being, well, it can still work because well-being is related to life satisfaction, and religiosity is obviously related to religiosity. And we might find a study that says, well, well-being is highly correlated with religiosity. That's actually perfect, because if we can put that in our introduction and say, well, based on this study, I was interested in looking at life satisfaction's relationship, and I have hypothesized well-being is related to faith, and life satisfaction is related to faith, but I want to look at something that's related but not exactly what this study says. So at any rate, let's say we look over the abstract, it's related. We want to look at the full text. We're going to go over to this left-hand column here. We're going to click full PDF full text. And before we do that, this is something I do. This is just a naming convention that I use. I know it's probably not the most common. I would say the most common naming convention for your journal articles would be to name the first and or second author and the year of publication. For me personally, I like to name my PDF documents the name of the actual article, so I make sure to copy this. And you can do whatever way works best for you. And I'm going to click Not sure why I'm having trouble there. Click PDF full text. And there it is. And to download it, we go over here, click download. I'm going to rename it. And I'm going to click save. And if you choose to name your PDF documents after the name of the actual article, you're going to run into colons. I want to give you a quick tip here. You're going to run into colons, and you're not going to be able to save that. So what I do is I erase the colon, and I put in a dash there, and that works just fine. All right, so once you've downloaded your journal article, you're also going to want to cite it in your referencing section, and we got a handy dandy tool for that. So if you go back to the Metro State Library page and you look over at this right hand column, we can click Cite. And we're going to scroll down to APA because that's the style we use. And we have it right here for us. Now, I'm going to warn you guys, please do not just copy this and close your eyes, submit it, and cross your fingers that it's correct. Because while this is a handy dandy shortcut, there are errors that are made, and these are not always correct. So please, this is a good shortcut, a good starting point, but review your APA citation fundamentals, or review, look at your APA references to make sure that it's great and it's set. And if it's not, fix it. And there you have it. Okay, at this point in the video, I've given you everything that you need to find journal articles, and it should be sufficient for the assignment or the final paper that you guys have. And if you're sick of hearing my voice, you can end the video. For those who want some bonus information, you are welcome to stay tuned. So when I search for journal articles, I not only use the Metro State Library resource, but I also use Google Scholar, because sometimes there's things in Google Scholar that PsycInfo doesn't have, or Metro State in general doesn't have access to, and vice versa. So it's useful to use both of them. So to access Google Scholar, I go to scholar.google.com, and if you really want to nerd out, you can see I have a Google Chrome extension for it in the corner there. And this is going to work a lot like what we were going through earlier in the video. You can do an advanced search right here, and it's got some similar but different options with all of the words, with the exact phrase, yada yada yada. Let's just say we're interested in life satisfaction and religion again, and the links to things that you would have access to, they usually show up in the right here. So let's just say we're interested in this one. We click that, and I don't know why they're loading so slowly today, but at any rate, we have access to the article. And if that doesn't work, you can click all 14 versions, and you can try a link that works better for you. Now, here I'm going to show you, I've been excited to share this because I just learned this next thing in the past couple weeks, and it's been super helpful. You can actually incorporate the databases from your college, i.e. Metro State, into your Google Scholar searches. And you can do that by clicking settings over here, you can go to library links. You can find the college that you are associated with. And it's that simple. You check mark it, you click save. Now if we search this, we can see that we have Metro State links as well. So we'll click that. Look at this one. We wouldn't have access to it through Google Scholar alone. We needed that Metro State link. And we click there. And there we have it, the full text.